Hello, friends. Welcome to the channel. Today, we will talk about something that seems as old as the world, but is actually the most relevant tool for survival and prosperity in our crazy 21st century. You've probably heard the word Stoicism. Perhaps an image of a stern, bearded man in a toga, standing amidst ancient ruins and staring at the horizon with a stone face, comes to mind. Or maybe you think stoicism is just the ability to endure pain and not show emotions, a lifelong poker face, as it were. But what if I told you that the Stoics were the first life coaches in history, the first reality hackers, and the creators of the most effective system for personal productivity? If you set aside complex philosophical terms, their teaching sounds surprisingly modern. These are not dusty books. This is a guide to action for those who want to maintain sanity in an era of social media, global crises, information noise, and constant anxiety. Today, we will dissect Stoic wisdom, but translate it from ancient Greek into the language of modern motivation. We will see how the advice of a Roman emperor and a former slave can replace dozens of success training programs for you. Make yourselves comfortable. Put notifications aside. We are beginning our immersion into the philosophy of the unsinkable. Let's start with a fundamental idea that today sounds like the best advice for combating stress and burnout. Epictetus, a philosopher born a slave who became one of the most respected teachers of his time, formulated the principle known as the dichotomy of control. It sounds complex, but in 21st century language, it sounds like this. You only have two to-do lists. The first contains what you can change, the second contains what is beyond your control. The secret to happiness is never, do you hear never, to look at the second list with the aim of fixing something there. Imagine how much energy we spend daily worrying about things that are beyond our control. We get angry about traffic jams, we get upset about the weather, we worry about what a colleague thought of us, or why YouTube algorithms aren't promoting our video. The Stoics tell us, stop. This is madness. Trying to control external events is like trying to convince the rain not to fall. You'll get wet and feel like an idiot. In the modern world, this principle transforms into a harsh but liberating truth. Focus on the process, not the outcome. You don't control whether you get a promotion. That's the boss's decision, influenced by the company's budget, the boss's mood, and the phase of the moon. But you control the quality of your work, your punctuality, and your skills. You don't control whether this person will love you, but you control how honest, caring, and open you yourself are. Epictetus teaches us to be like an archer. Your task is to perfectly draw the string, aim considering the wind, and release the arrow. Once the arrow has left your hands, it no longer belongs to you. Whether it hits the target or a sudden gust of wind blows it off course is no longer your concern. Your concern is the technique of the shot. In the 21st century, this sounds like ultimate motivation. Do what you must and let what will be, be. This removes a colossal burden of anxiety. You are no longer responsible for the whole world. You are only responsible for your mind and your actions. And believe me, this is more than enough to occupy you for a lifetime. Moving on, Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, the most powerful man on earth in his time. It would seem he had everything to enjoy life, but he spent most of his reign on military campaigns in damp tents surrounded by enemies, plague, and betrayal. It was there that he wrote his reflections, which today we know as the book Meditations. One of the central ideas of his philosophy was a concept that Nietzsche would later call amor fati, or love of fate. But let's translate this into modern motivational language. It sounds like this. The obstacle is the way. Or, as they say in the gym, pain is weakness leaving the body. Modern culture teaches us to avoid discomfort. We look for easy paths, quick money, magic pills. We get upset when something doesn't go according to plan. Missed a flight, tragedy. Fired from work, disaster. Computer broke, end of the world. A Stoic looks at it differently. For a Stoic, any problem is fuel. Marcus Aurelius used a beautiful metaphor. A candle goes out in the wind, but a large bonfire only burns stronger in the wind. Everything you throw into the fire, firewood, trash, old furniture, all of it becomes fire. It's the same in life. Your dismissal is not the end of your career. It's fuel to find your dream job or start your own business, something you didn't dare to do before. A breakup is not the end of love. It's an opportunity to learn to be self-sufficient and reevaluate your values. In the 21st century, this is called anti-fragility or radical acceptance. This is not passive submission. Oh no, this is aggressive optimism. Imagine a boxer who isn't afraid to take a punch because he knows that the opponent's blow will open a gap in their defense. When life hits you, Stoicism says, "Good, I'll use it." I don't have money? Good, I'll learn budgeting and creativity. I don't have time? Good, I'll learn priorities. I'm being criticized? Good, I'll learn not to depend on others' opinions. Turn shit into gold. This is the alchemy of Stoicism. Don't wish for everything to be easy. Wish for yourself to have enough strength to deal with difficulties. This is true motivation, not waiting for ideal conditions, but thriving in chaos. The third lesson comes to us from Seneca, a man who was one of the wealthiest people in Rome, a playwright, and an advisor to Emperor Nero. Seneca was a master of time management long before the advent of the term. In his essay on the shortness of life, he delivers a thought that strikes directly at the heart of the modern procrastinator. He says life is not short, we simply waste it. We act as if we are going to live forever. We postpone dreams for later, for someday, when we retire, when the children grow up, when we pay off the mortgage. Seneca reminds us of the concept of memento mori, remember death. Sounds grim? Perhaps. But in the context of motivation, it's the most powerful kick in the rear you can get. Imagine a doctor told you that you had a year left. Would you spend that year scrolling through your Instagram feed? Would you spend it arguing with strangers in comments? Would you go to a job you hate to buy things you don't need to impress people you don't like? Of course not. You would immediately cut out everything superfluous and focus on what's important. So why do we wait for a diagnosis to start living? Stoic wisdom here sounds like a call to urgency. Steve Jobs, who largely followed this philosophy, said, "Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool that helps me make difficult decisions in my life." This is the memento mori of the 21st century. It's not about depression and fear of death. It's about greed for life. It's about valuing every hour. Seneca teaches us greed in only one aspect, concerning our time. Money can be earned again. New friends can be found. Things can be bought. Time is the only irreplaceable resource. If someone steals your time with empty chatter, they are stealing a piece of your life. Don't allow it. Live immediately. Postponing life is the greatest folly because the future is not guaranteed to us. There is only now. The fourth aspect of Stoicism, which sounds like a modern psychological technique, is premeditio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. Today, we call this risk management, or in psychology, negative visualization. We are accustomed to positive thinking. We are told, think positive, visualize success, and the universe will give it to you. The Stoics would laugh at this. They believed that blind optimism makes us fragile. If you only expect sunshine, the very first rain will spoil your mood. If you expect everyone to be kind to you, the very first rudeness will throw you off course. Seneca advised starting the day with the thought that everything could go wrong. Imagine you lost your wallet. Imagine your project failed. Imagine you were betrayed. Why? To fall into depression? No. To strip fear of its power. Fear lives in the unknown. We fear the monster in the closet until we turn on the light. Negative visualization is turning on the light. When you mentally experience the worst-case scenario, you understand two things. First, it's not fatal. You'll cope. You'll survive. Second, you begin to immensely appreciate what you have right now. You woke up and nothing hurts? That's a miracle, not the norm. Your car started? Great. Your loved ones are alive? That's a gift. This practice makes us invulnerable. If trouble strikes, we are ready for it. We've already played it out in our minds. If trouble doesn't strike, we experience immense joy and gratitude. This is the best immunization against anxiety in our unstable world. Instead of trembling with fear before a crisis, a Stoic asks themselves, what's the worst that could happen? And they realize that even in the worst case, they will remain themselves, and they will retain their mind and ability to act. This provides an unshakable confidence. And finally, the fifth lesson, which unites all the previous ones. This is a lesson on action. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Stop talking about what a good man should be, just be one." In the era of information overload, we have become professional content consumers. We watch fitness videos but don't go to the gym. We read business books but don't start our own ventures. We listen to podcasts about relationships but can't have a heart-to-heart talk with our partner. We substitute action with the consumption of information